go. So we're going to find our seat, find our sit bones, and drop nice and tall and long. And lift those shoulders and roll them back and down. And close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And let it out with a big sigh. And again, a nice deep breath in. And let it out with a big sigh. So let's take a minute and just set our intention. So setting our intention for today to anchor down into the earth and stay connected to divine and to allow life to present to us in whatever manner it needs to, so that we can learn one more thing today. And let it be gentle. So as you lengthen through your crown, begin to take an internal inventory and notice how those hips are connecting to the earth and sinking through those sit bones. Notice if you can allow your legs to soften just a little bit more. Just a little softening. Because whether we realize it or not, when there's holding in the body, it will sometimes present as stiffness in the joints, or maybe the inability to move a certain way, that if we pause just before we meet the resistance and inquire, ask the resistance, what are you protecting me from? Is it real? Is it still there? And just inquire. And notice how when you do that, as you bring your breath into the questioning, on the exhale, there's a little teeny bit of softening, one little layer. Just notice. And I find that I do this in my hips. I have a tendency to hang on tight in my hips. So if I just inquire, what am I holding on for? Is it possible to soften into the experience? Find your breath. Notice what it feels like to draw in your pelvic floor. Bring your belly button to your spine, lifting through your heart, drawing that neck back over your shoulders so that the ears are directly over your shoulders. We're not meant to be forward. We're meant to have our neck over, our head over our shoulders. Going up long through the crown. So as if somebody was taking a hold of a string in the top of your head and just drawing you up nice and tall. And as you lengthen through the crown, take a nice deep inhale and feel it come in through that root chakra, inhaling, inhaling, inhaling all the way up through your crown. And then exhaling the same way from the crown all the way down. So we're gonna have a few breaths and I'm gonna grow quiet. I'm gonna let you just really notice what's happening on your interior. So one more nice long breath, inhaling through your nose. Exhaling all the way out. Bringing into this experience your arms and your hands up overhead. Nice, big, wide opening. Exhaling the arms down, just beginning to invite the shoulders to warm up. Inhaling the hands up. Exhaling the hands down. Inhaling them up. And exhaling 3 more of these at your own pace. Notice when you go at your own pace, do you speed up? If you do, see what it would feel like to slow down. And this is the last one. So on this one, on the exhale, twist to the right. Twist into it. Do it gently. Engage that pelvic floor. Let that backhand encourage the twist. But allow the work to happen on the exhale. And then on the inhale, grow tall. And on the exhale, deepen. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, deepen. And on the next inhale, inhaling the hands up. Exhaling the other direction. All the way. Do it gently. As you meet that resistance, acknowledge it. I feel you there, resistance. I'm going to breathe into you. Inhaling. Exhaling, twisting into it. Just a little bit deeper. Exhaling, turning. Feeling the release. Keep breathing. Inhaling, hands up overhead. Exhaling, headed straight forward. So start hinging at the hips, flat back, leading with your heart. Hands come down beside you. And let this be about opening through the hips. Now, if this doesn't feel safe to you, you can put your hands in front of you to support you. Work where you need to. Notice where you feel this. Tip in the chin so it opens the back of your neck. And then begin to just soften down a little bit lower. Breathe into this. Bowing to yourself. Honoring what arises with all acceptance of everything that comes up. Resistance, fear, joy, celebration, whatever's there, whatever's in these hips, let it out. Deep breath in, let out. Excellent. On the next inhale, grow long in the crown. Lengthen that spine and draw yourself up. Notice how it feels to sit in easy pose from here. Just notice. Excellent. Sliding off your blanket, coming onto the floor, we're going to sink into wide angle. So legs spread wide, however wide is for you in your body. It doesn't actually matter if they're far apart. It matters that you can find your sit bones and draw up nice and tall. So creating some space through that groin area. And then to open the knees, engage your feet, lengthen through the heels, and tip those feet back. And you're going to feel that right here on the insides of your thighs. Inhaling the hands up. Exhaling them down. This is just inviting the shoulders to open this morning. Inhaling them up. Exhaling your hands down, but bring the shoulders down also. See what it feels like to draw down through those shoulder blades. Inhaling it up. This time we're going to exhale to the right, heading to the right. There you go. Now, you might reach your toe, you might not. If you don't, hands on your shin. And so from right here, we're going to take this arm. Mine's wanting to go forward. Bring it back. Open it up. Take a nice deep breath in. Feel that spin in the low back. Engage that core. Breathe into it. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Finding your breath. Beautiful. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling the other direction. Reaching for that other foot, the other shin. Notice what begins to collapse. Does your core go on vacation? Hello, core, come back. It's not time yet. Spin that left leg open. Keep those feet engaged. Keep working through the heels, not the pads of your foot. Heels. Spin that heart open. Breathe into it. On the exhale, notice if you can sink a little deeper into this. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, swan dive forward, hinging at the hips. Core is engaged. Remember, your hinge may not be very far. You want to drop long through your crown. Lengthen through that spine. Really feel that spine, almost as if it's like a slinky. Remember how when we were kids, we'd pick the slinky up and it would slinky up long? Imagine your spine being like that, slinking up nice and tall, dropping out of the shoulders, heading forward with your heart. And again, in this posture, if it feels safer to put your hands in front of you to keep you from collapsing forward, you can do that. Spin those feet open, still working through the heels. The first thing to go in this posture is the feet, as we soften the feet, and it gives the illusion of having a deeper stretch, but it changes the stretch. Inhaling through that crown again, exhaling, seeing if your edge has moved a little deeper. On the next inhale, coming up, bringing those feet in, coming into cobbler's pose, but rather than the heels being close to the groin, push them out so you have a diamond. There's some space here then. So with your hands, take your heels and then just push them away a little bit more. So two things happen here. It releases through the groin, and we're going to do a restorative pose. So then take a hold of your shins or your ankles, wherever you are, and inhale, hinge at the hips, and then begin to tip at the chin, rolling into a forward fold. So what happens here is it allows the body to fold over these legs. When you meet resistance, hang out there. We're going to touch in with the breath. Eyes are closed. Finding your breath. Notice where the breath connects with your body. Just notice. Is it at the tip of your nose? Is it in the back of your throat? So as the monkey wants to participate, give it the job of following your breath. We're going to hang out here for a few breaths, and notice that on the exhale, you always are given a little more space. What you choose to do with that space is up to you. 3 more breaths. Really drink it in. Drink in this experience of a forward fold. It's a restorative pose. Last breath, nice and long. Exhale it all the way out. Give your full expression of this. And on the inhale, begin to build yourself back up. Find your vertebrae stacking one on top of the other. Drawing up nice and tall. Bringing those knees in, straightening them out into Dandasana. So staff pose. Bringing those legs out right in front of you. Doesn't matter which direction you are on the mat. I just turned so you could see me. Inhaling, hands up overhead. Exhaling, diving forward. Wherever you meet resistance, let those hands come down there. Remember, lengthening through those heels. So through all of these postures on the floor this morning, our feet are engaged. Our heels are working. We're growing long in the crown, long in the spine. We're not losing it. A lot of times in Dandasana, we get this going on. So see if you can draw those shoulders in your back, engage that core, bring the belly button back to the spine, grow long in the crown. Breathe into it. Find your breath. Two more. Notice if you can sink a little further into this. And inhaling, coming up. Feeling yourself anchor into the earth. Let your hands come down beside you. They might have to be out beside you if you have longer arms, or your elbows might have to be bent. Just growing long in the spine. It doesn't matter if your elbows are bent. It matters that you're lengthening tall through the spine, supporting yourself without lifting through the shoulders. Ah, yes. On the next inhale, inhaling the hands up overhead. Nice, big, lifting through the arms, dropping out of those shoulders, heading forward into Dandasana. Notice if it deepens. Are you any further down your legs? It doesn't matter if you're not. Just notice. Sometimes when you do the second one, it shortens. Depends upon what's happening in the body. Two more breaths. And on the next inhale, inhaling your hands up. Exhaling them down beside you, connecting in with the earth. So preparing for the day by grounding into your own being. Feeling that connection happen through the first chakra. The first chakra is anchoring down into the earth. So as in seated position, the first chakra actually opens between the sit bones and continues all the way to the center of the earth. Inhaling the hands up. Exhaling, swan dive forward. Dandasana, lengthening through the back of those legs. Notice how it's different. Drop out of the shoulders, lengthen through the back of the neck. Find your breath, sink into it, letting any resistance leave with the exhale. Nicely done. Inhaling, drawing up. Exhaling the hands down. Notice what it's feeling like in the body. Notice how there's becoming an even rhythm within the body. And then we're going to move around and turn into tabletop. Coming into tabletop, finding that solid tabletop. So building from the ground up, finding your palms connecting to the earth as you spread your fingers nice and wide. As the arms connect in to the hands, notice that you can spin the eyes of your elbows forward. They can face each other. Forward is going to give you more stability. And then the shoulders are going to still draw down your back, lengthening through the crown of your head, down, back through your tailbone, flattening the back. Imagine that I'm coming around and taking a hold of your waist and inviting you to draw that belly button in. Breathe into it. Strong tabletop. This is your posture right here. Now, notice how you connect into the earth here. The connection is an anchoring through the hands, the knees, the shins, the top of the feet. Breathe into it. Feel the power and the stability of holding tabletop. And on the next inhale, we're going to drop down into cow. Open that heart, open that voice, open that tail. Exhaling into cat. So we're going to do 5 of these. I'm going to let you count your own. Find your own pace. And if your rhythm quickens without me, slow it down. We have 2 more. And this is the last one all the way through. Drink it in. Drink in the movement of cow and the inhale. And just let go of anything you don't need in the exhale of cat. And then coming back in to tabletop right here. Find your tabletop. On the next inhale, we're going to bring our right foot forward into low lunge. So this is the one place that I allow you to sink all the way past your ankle if you need to. We're going to square off the hips, and it's going to be mindful of your knee. If your knee is a little sensitive, be mindful of that. We're going to sink forward, and we're going to open up through this left quadricep and the psoas deep in the belly here. So grow up tall. If you have blocks and you want to use them, you can. Sink into this. Really breathe into it. Square off those hips. Beautiful work. Let that knee work towards the little toe, because you still don't want to collapse through the inner thigh. You want to still protect the knee. And then inhale, draw forward. Exhale, slowly move it back. Now, go ahead and let your body stay on your thigh, on your quadricep, and roll over your leg, working through the hamstring. Inhale, walking forward. Make sure and do this slowly as we invite the muscles to open. And exhaling back. So you want to do nice long inhales and exhales here. If you get moving too fast, you get a little hard on that lower knee. Inhaling, looking forward. And exhaling, walking back. Nice and gentle here, sinking into it. Where does your body allow you to go? Where does your mind allow you to go? 2 really different entities. Inhaling, moving forward, sinking all the way into a supported low lunge. So really find where you can engage your core, build yourself up. Left hand on your knee, right hand on your knee, left hand up, right hand up, low lunge. Sink into it. This is a balanced posture. Find your breath. 3 breaths here. Excellent. Bring those palms together into prayer position right here. We're going to turn and set that left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Sorry for the back. Twisting into it. This is level 1 right here. Level 2, you can open your arms. Level 3, you can bring your hand behind you, twisting all the way around, hooking your arm through your other arm. Not happening in this body. So we got some balance going on here. Work at your level. If you fall out of it, start over. Find your balance. Breathe into it. 2 more breaths. Engage your core. Inhaling, coming back into low lunge. Hands come up. Exhaling, coming down. Sinking back in that leg. Hold it here. Really bend and folding over that leg. Breathing into it. Excellent. Coming back to the center, pulling that leg back into tabletop. Woo! Feel the heat. So, sink into your tabletop, build it back up. Notice how the right side feels different from the left side. Take a nice deep inhale, dropping down into cow. Feel the difference. Notice if you have more space. Exhaling. Notice how the hips differ from left to right. One more time, inhaling. Exhaling. If you need a child's pose, this is the place to do it. If you're doing okay, come right back into tabletop. Find a strong tabletop. Bring that left foot forward. Okay? Now, build this up. Build this lunge. Lengthen through that right leg. Sink forward into the left leg. Feel those hips open. You might have to draw the right hip forward a little bit and the left hip back to square them off, and then sink down. Find your breath. Feel the opening in the hip flexors. Feel the opening in the hamstrings. Feel the strength and the power of this low lunge, opening that pelvic floor as you're engaging it as well. 2 more breaths. And on the exhale, sinking back, opening that hamstring. Noticing where you feel it in your body. Square off those hips. Whatever feels square in your body. Imagine that the hips are even and square. Exhale, sink down into this. Inhale, move forward. Exhale, sink back. Inhale, move forward. Exhale, sink back. Fold yourself over, long exhale. Inhale, sink forward. We're going to do one more exhale, sinking back. So exhaling, sinking back. Now, I realize that sometimes your breath may not be as deep as my cueing. Holding here, find your inhale and exhale. Allowing everybody to kind of come into lengthening through the hamstrings. And on the inhale, we're going to sink back forward into forward low lunge. Find the strength in forward low lunge. Begin to build yourself up. Right hand, right hand. Find your balance here before you add your arms. When you have your balance, sink into it. Give nice, strong support through your center being. Breathing into it. Feel the power of what this is a modified warrior pose. Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1. Breathing into it. Hands come down to the heart. Center line. Inhaling, engaging that core, belly button to the spine. Twisting. Right elbow to left knee. Sinking into it. Level 1. Level 2, you can open your arms. Level 3, you can bring your left arm behind you and twist all the way around. What level are you? Honor. And if you lose your balance and you come out of it, you might fall out of it. Be careful of whatever's around you. Come back to the low warrior. Hands at prayer, coming back into the twist. Whatever twist fits your body. Breathing into it, finding your breath. Excellent. Inhaling your hands back into prayer on the side of your body, engaging your core, coming back out of it, coming back into warrior, low warrior. Hands come back down to the floor, bringing that foot back behind you into tabletop. Just know it doesn't matter what it looks like or even what it feels like. It may not feel pretty, that's okay. You're here, you showed up, you're on your mat. Find your tabletop. Notice if you're feeling a little more balanced. Take a deep breath in, dropping down into cow. Exhaling up into cat. Inhaling down into cow. Exhaling up into cat. Inhaling back into tabletop. We're going to curl our toes and exhale back into downward facing dog. So our hamstrings are nice and open, so you can go straight into dog. The body a lot of times likes to walk into dog. So wherever you're at in your body, find your best downward facing dog. Lifting through your tail, letting your heart travel to your knees. Imagine that there's no thing hanging on. So let go of the neck. Let it just be soft. Breathe into it. Two more breaths. And on the next inhale, you can walk your feet, you can jump, you can take one step and head into forward fold. At the top of your mat, right here, standing in forward fold, dropping all the way down. Inhaling, hands on your shins. Exhaling, halfway up. Flat back. Exhaling down. Inhaling, reverse swan dive. All the way up. Oh, here we are, just standing, ready to embrace the day. Coming into high mountain right here, hands overhead. If you're dizzy, soften your eyes and find something to look at. Otherwise, if you can stand here in tall mountain, with your eyes closed, drop out of your shoulders. Feel the power of holding tall mountain. Nice deep breath. On the next inhale, bring your palms together. Exhaling, drawing your hands down center line to standing Anjali Mudra. We're going to do some half sun salutations today. Bring some movement into this. So on the next inhale, I'm going to talk you through the first one, and then we'll do 5 rounds on our own. So nice deep breath in, dropping our hands down, inhaling, circling them around, looking to the sky. Exhaling, swan dive forward. All the way down, hands to the floor or your shins, inhaling halfway up. Exhaling down. Inhaling, reverse swan dive, flying up. Hands meet at the center, drawing down into Anjali Mudra. 5 more on your own. I'm going to grow quiet, but I'm still here. So we have 1 more to go. If you're finished, you can stay and stand on Anjali Mudra, or you can do another round. And I'm at my last one. Drinking it in. Silence and movement. As you find yourself standing in Anjali Mudra, see what it feels like to have that experience of sinking down into your feet. Notice if you can release any holding that you just weren't aware of until right this moment. See if you can engage your pelvic floor and draw that belly button in without clenching your hips. If you can soften out of your shoulders and lengthen through your crown without the neck muscles engaging. Notice what that feels like. On the next inhale, our hands are going to come down beside us, and we're going to exhale and step straight back into warrior 1. So might take a little bit of practice here as to how big of a step you need. I never stepped quite far enough the first time. So sink back, come into warrior 1, and then open yourself into warrior 2. Make any micro adjustments you need to be in warrior 2. Sinking straight down, drop out of those shoulders. Breathing into it. Let go of your toes if you're clenching the earth. Breathing into it. Sink into that knee. Sink into it. So different than triangle because our front knee is bent. We're going to inhale and we're going to sink back into dancing warrior. Little lateral motion. Spin that heart open to the sky. Breathe into it. Little bit of balance here. Finding where the posture holds you. Inhaling, coming back to warrior two. Sliding across the body, sinking down, dropping that elbow onto the knee, bringing the hand straight up, and then bringing it all the way over the body. All the way over. Spinning that heart open, sinking down a little bit more, little deeper into this posture. Breathing into it. Bringing that hand back up to facing the ceiling, pointing to the ceiling, turning your palm behind you and bringing that arm around behind you, working towards the arm on your leg. So in a nice, perfect, stretchy body, which is where we're all imagining that we are, if you are not already there, we would take our left hand and hook it around our right arm. So I have about 8 inches to go before that happens, but I'm going to imagine that it's already happening in my body. Breathing into it. Excellent. Inhaling that hand back up. Exhaling, inhaling, lifting yourself up. Coming back to warrior two. Spinning back around into warrior one. Sometimes that spin is the balance right there. And then as you're ready, stepping back forward in 3 steps in my world to come back into mountain pose. Take a nice deep breath in, inhaling the hands up overhead, exhaling your hands down to the heart, finding Anjali Mudra. Notice how there's an imbalance now. We've changed our balance from doing the half sun salutations to now standing. One side feels longer than the other. Just notice. And on the next inhale, stepping the right foot back. Stepping the right foot back. I'm switching the end of the mat so I don't leave my back. So right foot goes back, sinking forward into that left foot, coming into warrior one. There it is. Find the balance. Inhaling, spinning open into two. You might have to adjust your feet a bit. Little micro movements to make it stable in your world. Engage that core, sink down into it. Inhaling, sinking back into dancing warrior. Breathe into it. Always about the breath. Yoga, union, body, breath, spirit. Inhaling, coming forward. Sliding across the body, sinking down into that knee. Lifting up and then bringing that hand up overhead. Spinning that shoulder back. Heart's always turning to the sun, much like a sunflower. Inhaling, bringing that hand back to the ceiling, spinning it around and bringing it behind you. I have a little more space in this side of my body. Interested in noticing that I'm a little closer to reaching my arm, but a little ways away yet. Breathing into it. You can bring a full twist into this by looking at the ceiling. Twisting that neck, sinking down into that knee, all these little micro motions. Beautiful. Inhaling, hand up. Inhaling, lifting up. Coming back. And then spinning back around into warrior one. There it is. Sometimes my balance leaves me stepping forward into mountain. Exhaling the hands down into full mountain. Inhaling the hands up overhead. Exhaling, swan dive forward. Inhaling halfway up. Exhaling, stepping back into downward facing dog. There's our dog. Have a couple quick breaths here. Draw those heels together, open those knees wide, sink all the way back into child pose. Now from child's pose, we're gonna find our way, whatever way it works for in your body, to lying on our back. So some people like to do an entire vinyasa movement to get there. This somebody, not so much. So once you get on your tail and you roll back and you're lying flat on your back, walk those feet in, close to the behind. Put your imaginary block between your knees. Hands come down into the earth. Take a nice deep breath in and roll in through that pelvic floor. And exhale, release it out. Nice deep breath in. Roll in. Exhale, release it out. Nice deep breath in, and this time roll all the way up into bridge. So pressing into the floor through your feet. Make any micro adjustments without looking at the screen. I don't want anybody to turn their head, but imagine scooping your shoulders underneath you to create a nice strong platform. Lengthen through the crown of your head, so maybe a slight tip in the chin to lengthen the back of your neck. And then pressing through the floor of the feet, the soles of the feet into the floor. That sounds better. And lifting up as if somebody is lifting you up through your center being, straight up. Find your breath. Find your breath. Beautiful back bends. Remembering to keep that block engaged between your knees. It changes the posture to engage that, those inner thighs, your adductor muscles. If your legs are splaying open, it's actually harder on the hips and knees if those adductor muscles are engaged, but the knees don't have to be touching. They just have to be engaged as if they're holding something there. On the next inhale, take a deep inhale through the crown of your head. Exhale, lift a little bit higher. On the next inhale, take a deep breath, lift a little higher. And this time, as you're holding, let the mind get out of the way. And as you are ready, drop into meditation and motion. So sometimes when we take ourselves clear to the edge and then go just a teeny bit past, the body wants to do something different. Honor that. Doesn't matter what it looks like, it's going to look different than mine. So there's no need to look and see what's happening. Keep your eyes closed, have your internal journey. What does it feel like in your body? Honor it. We're going to do this for just a couple of minutes. So connect in with your breath. Allow this meditation and motion to happen. Three more breaths as we move through this experience. Let them be intentional. Let them be present. And as you find your way through that last breath, find your way into knees to chest. Gently rocking side to side. Giving yourself a little low back massage. And then allow those feet to come down and set on the mat, each side of the mat. So they're wider than hip distance, about the width of the mat. Inhaling, opening those arms into a T position. Engage your core. So really feel that arch in your low back come out. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale both knees to the left. So this is kind of a wide angle twist, a wide leg twist. And as you're ready, inhale, grow long through the crown and look to the right hand. So you're going to feel this all the way from the right hip to the left side of your neck. Nice long twist. Breathe into it. And in my body, I actually feel it down the top of my quadriceps, so the top of my right leg to my knee. Nice long line of energy, breathing into it. On the next inhale, draw your nose back to the center. Exhale it out. Inhale, engage your core, draw those knees back to the center. Exhale it, feel yourself lie flat on the floor. Take a minute to just drop in, feel the difference, left side to right side. On the next inhale, engage that core. Exhale, let the knees travel to the right. Get the lower body engaged first. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, let the nose travel to the left hand, the direction of the left hand. Nice long twist. Breathe into it. Feel the body beginning to cool. The slowing down. Inhaling, drawing the nose back to center. Exhaling. Inhaling, bringing those knees back to center. Exhaling. Find yourself flat on the floor. Lengthen through the right leg. Lengthen through the left leg. This is a nice place to give a nice big stretch if you want, but ask your body, what else do I need? Is there anything else that I need? If the answer is no, then if you have a blanket and you want to cover up, this is a nice place to do so during Shavasana. And you've probably noticed that our Shavasanas in these classes are a little bit shorter than usual, but that's okay. Even dropping into Shavasana for 3 minutes gives the body an opportunity to integrate all the new things that we've asked it to do. So feel yourself soften back into Mother Earth all the way. Hold. Let go of any holding that you might still have. Allow that breath to grow shallow. Breath by breath. Life proceeds breath by breath. Deep, full, and easy. Shallow or uneven. Breathing is the key to cultivating peace. Breath by breath. Choose to stay present. It isn't success you are seeking, but surrender to the flow of energy. It's not control that matters, but letting go, allowing life exactly as it is this moment to touch and change and breathe through you. And gently begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Inviting yourself gently back into the day. And as you're ready, roll to your side. And as you're ready, bring your hands to your heart. Thank you for coming today. Namaste.
Namaste.